Most people think romantic touch is about being confident, but confidence without sensitivity can feel like pressure, and pressure doesn't create love, it creates distance. The touches that make someone fall deeply in love with you are usually the ones that feel natural, emotionally timed, and safe enough for the other person to lean into. That's what most people miss. So today, we're breaking down 15 touches that build real connection, and the final one will show you why the most powerful romantic touch doesn't try to take anything at all. 1. The touch that waits for permission. Have you ever noticed how much more powerful touch becomes when it doesn't rush? The first touch that makes someone fall for you isn't the boldest one. It's the one that proves you're paying attention. A hand on their back, fingers brushing theirs, your arm resting close enough to be felt but not forced. These only work when their body is already saying yes. If they lean closer, stay relaxed, smile, mirror you, or don't pull away, the door is opening. If they stiffen, step back, go quiet, or turn their body away, the answer is no. That's not rejection. That's information. The practical mistake many people make is trying to create chemistry through touch instead of reading whether chemistry is already there. Slow down. Let your first touch be light enough that they can accept it, ignore it, or move away without embarrassment. When someone feels that you can handle their boundary, their nervous system relaxes around you, and attraction grows fastest where safety is already present. 2. The lower back guide that feels protective, not possessive. Ever had someone guide you through a doorway or through a crowd in a way that made you feel strangely taken care of? That touch works because it speaks before words do. A light hand on the lower back can feel intimate because it sits close to the body's center of movement. It says, "I'm aware of you. I'm moving with you. I'm not leaving you to navigate this alone." But the difference between protective and possessive is pressure. Too firm, and it feels controlling. Too long, and it feels like a claim. Too sudden, and it feels intrusive. The version that lands emotionally is brief, warm, and situational. Use it when you're helping them move through a busy space, stepping aside for them, or gently guiding them away from a collision. Then remove your hand. That removal matters. It tells them you weren't using the moment as an excuse. You were caring for their comfort. People remember that, because it makes attraction feel less like performance and more like emotional intelligence in motion. 3. The hand touch that lingers for one extra second. Does a simple hand touch ever feel more intimate than a kiss? It can, especially when it happens in a moment that already carries feeling. The hand is one of the most emotionally expressive parts of the body. It reaches, holds, protects, rejects, welcomes, and comforts. So when you touch someone's hand with attention, they don't just feel skin, they feel intention. This works best in small moments. You're laughing together, passing something across the table, walking side by side, or saying goodbye. Your fingers touch theirs, and instead of instantly snapping away like it was an accident, you stay for one calm second. Not 5, not 10, 1. That extra second creates a question in their body. Was that just touch, or was that meaning? And because you don't overplay it, the moment stays soft. If they respond by holding, squeezing, or staying close, you can meet them there. If not, you let it go gracefully. The power is in the restraint. If you're actually following this, comment, signal. Let's see who understands that the smallest touch can say the loudest thing. 4. The shoulder touch that says, "I'm with you." Have you ever seen someone relax the moment a hand lands gently on their shoulder? That's because the shoulder carries tension people don't always speak about. A warm touch there can feel grounding. It's not as romantic as touching the face, not as charged as touching the waist, and not as intimate as holding hands. That's exactly why it works. It can say, "I'm here," without making the moment too heavy. Use it when they're telling you something stressful, laughing at themselves, or feeling unsure. Keep it steady, not gripping. A brief shoulder touch can help someone feel less alone inside whatever they're carrying. But notice the difference between comforting and correcting. Don't touch their shoulder to interrupt them, steer them, or calm them down, because their emotion makes you uncomfortable. Touch should never say, "Stop feeling." It should say, "You don't have to feel it by yourself." When someone associates your presence with emotional steadiness, attraction deepens into trust, and trust is where love starts becoming real. 5. The playful touch that makes flirting feel easy. Ever wonder why some people can create chemistry without saying anything impressive? Often, it's because their touch carries play instead of pressure. A playful touch can be a light tap on the arm after a joke, a quick shoulder bump while walking, or brushing imaginary lint from their sleeve with a smile. It creates a private rhythm between you. It says, "We're not just talking, We're sharing a little world. The key is that playful touch must match the energy already present. If they're serious, distracted, guarded, or emotionally open in a vulnerable way, don't turn the moment into teasing. That creates distance. But if they're laughing, bantering, and leaning into the exchange, a small playful touch can make the connection feel alive. People fall for the person who makes them feel lighter without making them feel foolish. So watch their face after the touch. Do they brighten? Do they touch you back? Do they stay engaged? That's your signal. The goal isn't to be smooth. The goal is to make closeness feel natural. 6. The touch that steadies them in public. Have you ever been in a loud, crowded, overwhelming place and felt grateful when someone quietly anchored you? That's one of the most underrated romantic touches. It can be your hand finding theirs in a crowd, your fingers gently touching their elbow while crossing a street, or your palm resting briefly against their back when the room gets too busy. The emotional message is simple. I'm tracking you. I haven't forgotten you're here. This matters because people don't only fall in love during candlelit moments. They fall in love when life gets noisy and someone still notices their comfort. If they seem overwhelmed, don't make a big announcement. Don't say, "Are you anxious?" in a way that exposes them. Just offer a small physical anchor and watch their response. If they take it, stay steady. If they don't, give space. The deepest attraction often forms around a person who knows how to protect someone's dignity. That kind of touch doesn't demand attention. It gives someone their balance back. 7. The forehead touch that quiets the world. Does anything feel more intimate than someone gently touching their forehead to yours? This touch is powerful because it removes performance. You can't really pose in that position. You can't keep emotional distance easily. Forehead to forehead creates stillness, and stillness can feel more vulnerable than passion. This touch belongs in moments of tenderness, not uncertainty. Use it when there's already trust, after a long hug, during a quiet goodbye, or when emotion is present and words feel too small. Don't force eye contact. Don't turn it into a dramatic movie scene. Let it be brief and calm. The practical problem is that many people rush from closeness into escalation. They think every intimate touch has to lead somewhere. But the forehead touch is beautiful because it can stand on its own. It says, "I just want to be close to you right now." And sometimes that's the sentence someone has been waiting to feel. Not here. Let me know if this is hitting home. Drop safe below if you've ever wanted closeness to feel calm instead of pressured. 8. The hair touch that feels like tenderness, not entitlement. Have you ever had someone move a strand of hair from your face and felt your whole body go quiet? That touch can be deeply romantic because it feels personal. It's near the face, near the eyes, near the part of someone they instinctively protect. That's why it must be earned. Touching someone's hair too early can feel invasive. It can seem like you're treating their body as available before they've offered that kind of closeness. But when the emotional connection is already there, a gentle hair touch can feel unbelievably tender. The safest version is small and purposeful. A strand is caught on their cheek. Wind has moved their hair. You pause, make eye contact, and give them a second to read your intention. Then you move slowly. If they lean in, smile softly, or stay open, the moment deepens. If they pull back or tense, you stop immediately and don't make it awkward. The magic isn't in touching their hair. It's in making them feel respected while you do it. 9. The hand on the heart area. Ever notice how touching someone's chest area can feel more emotional than sexual when it's done with care? This touch is intimate because it lands near the place people associate with feeling. A palm placed gently over their upper chest, or their hand placed over yours, can create a sense of emotional honesty. It says, "This is real for me." It works during vulnerable moments, after a meaningful confession, or when you're sharing something sincere. But this is not a casual touch. It requires trust, stillness, and clear mutual comfort. Don't use it as a move. Use it as a response to emotional truth. One way to make it natural is to invite rather than take. You can place your own hand over your heart while speaking honestly, then let them choose whether to come closer. Or, if you're already holding hands, you can bring their hand gently toward your chest and pause before completing the movement. That pause is everything. It gives them choice. Love grows when someone feels invited into your emotional world, not pulled into it. 10. The hug that doesn't end too quickly. Have you ever hugged someone and felt the exact moment your body stopped defending itself? That's the kind of hug people remember. Most hugs are polite. They happen on autopilot. A romantic hug is different because it lets the other person feel held without feeling trapped. It has warmth, breath, and patience. The secret is not squeezing harder. It's staying present longer than a social hug, while still letting them control the exit. Wrap them gently. Let your body soften. Don't pat their back like you're ending the moment immediately. Just hold, then notice. If they melt into you, breathe out or tighten their arms, stay. If their body lifts away, release. A good hug listens. This solves a recurring problem in dating. People often try to prove desire when what the other person actually needs is emotional safety. A hug that doesn't rush says, "You can rest here." That feeling is rare. And when someone finds it in you, they don't forget where they found it. 11. The touch that notices their tension. Does someone's body tell you what their mouth hasn't said yet? If you pay attention, it does. A person may say they're fine while their jaw tightens, their shoulders rise, their fingers fidget, or their breathing becomes shallow. The touch that notices this can feel deeply loving because it proves you're not only listening to words, you're listening to them. It might be your thumb rubbing slowly over their knuckles. It might be a gentle hand between their shoulder blades. It might be taking their hand without asking them to explain everything right away. But don't turn observation into diagnosis. Don't say, "You're stressed," like you're correcting them. Try something softer. "Come here," followed by a calm, grounding touch. Or, "I've got you," if the connection already supports that kind of intimacy. This kind of touch gives someone relief without making them perform their pain for you. And that is powerful, because many people are used to being noticed only when they break down. Being noticed before that feels like love. 12. The kiss on the hand. Ever wonder why a kiss on the hand can feel old-fashioned and still land so deeply? Because it carries reverence. A hand kiss slows everything down. It removes the casualness. It says, "I'm not just trying to have you, I'm appreciating you." And that distinction matters. This touch works best when it's not theatrical. Don't make it a performance. Don't do it to look charming. Do it when the moment is already quiet, after holding hands, during a goodbye, or when they've just shared something vulnerable and you want to respond without filling the air with too many words. Lift their hand gently. Keep your grip loose. Kiss once. Let go slowly. If they smile, soften, or look down in that overwhelmed way people do when they feel cherished, you've created a memory. If they laugh it off or pull away, don't chase the moment. Let it become light. The hand kiss is powerful because it asks for nothing after giving tenderness, and that kind of restraint can feel more romantic than intensity. 13. The touch that says goodbye before leaving. Have you ever noticed how someone leaves can affect how much you miss them? The final touch before separation often becomes the emotional aftertaste. A rushed goodbye can make the whole connection feel uncertain. A careful goodbye can make someone feel chosen even after you're gone. That touch might be a warm hand squeeze, a slow hug, a kiss on the forehead, or fingers brushing their arm as you say, "I'll see you soon." The practical solution here is simple. Don't let goodbyes collapse into awkwardness. Many people panic at the end of a date or emotional moment. They overtalk, retreat, joke, or leave too fast. Instead, slow down for 3 seconds. Look at them. Touch with intention. Then leave cleanly. No clinging. No fishing for reassurance. No turning the goodbye into a test. A beautiful goodbye creates emotional continuity. It tells the person, "This mattered while I was here, and it still matters when I go." That's the kind of feeling people replay later. 14. The touch that chooses them in a room full of people. Does someone feel different to you when they make you feel chosen without making a scene? That's because public tenderness, when it's subtle, can be incredibly bonding. It's not about showing ownership. It's about quiet recognition. Your hand finding theirs under the table. Your thumb brushing their wrist while others are talking. Your knee resting lightly against theirs. A brief touch on their back as you pass behind them. These gestures say, "Even here, with everyone around, I'm aware of you." The mistake is turning public touch into display. If the touch seems designed to impress other people, it loses intimacy. But when it's private inside a public moment, it creates a secret thread between you. Watch how they respond. If they move closer, return the touch, or look at you with that small, almost hidden smile, they feel it too. If they become self-conscious, reduce the intensity. Love often grows through tiny confirmations, not grand announcements, just little reminders that, even in a crowded room, they're the person your body keeps finding. 15. The touch that asks for nothing. What's the touch people remember years later? It's this one. The touch that doesn't push for a kiss, doesn't try to escalate, doesn't demand reassurance. A hand held during silence, a palm on their back while they cry, a forehead kiss when they're tired. That touch says, "I'm here with you, not because I want something from you, but because you matter." And when someone feels wanted without feeling used, their heart finally stops guarding the door. Now you know how the right touch can make someone feel closer to you without pressure. But if your energy outside that touch feels too available, too eager, or too easy to read, you can still lose the chase. Click the video on screen now, because I'm going to show you the seduction tricks that make your crush feel pulled toward you without forcing it.